Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Truth Be Told. I pray that God's favor is upon you today. I pray that you are open to receive what He has for you because we serve a good and mighty God. I pray this all in the mighty name of Jesus. I want to talk to you about something super important today about first responders. Man, our first responders, let's give them a hand, y'all. It takes a certain kind of person to put their lives in danger for us, right? I have family who are ex-military and ex law enforcement, and I'm here to tell you, man, that it takes a special person to do those things. Now, I want to ask you a question about first responders. If, God forbid, you were in danger, who would you call? 911, right? 911 is for the ambulance, for the fire department, for the police, right? There was a fire in your house that you couldn't extinguish with a fire extinguisher that you have underneath the sink. You get out and you call the fire department because they are equipped, they're trained to handle that, right? The same thing with the police department. And God forbid, you maybe you know a little CPR. That's great. We should all know CPR. But if somebody is unconscious or bleeding, you take him to the hospital, you call an ambulance, right? Because you are not trained. Thank God for our first responders. But in the same way, I want to ask you, in the Bible, Colossians 4:2, it says that prayer should be our first response, not our last resort. Why is it that we call 911 right away when we know we can't handle it, but yet things have to get really bad before we include God into our relationship, into our circumstance? God, you know, nothing. You shouldn't worry about anything, but you should pray about everything. Okay, pray about everything. Because see, prayer will give you the wisdom and the clarity, and God will give you the answer of the things that you should do. And if it's out of your control, then you need to step aside and do what Bishop Alex says, let God be God. Man, we gotta just let God be God, okay? And stop trying to lift things that don't belong to you. God, prayer should be our first response, yo. I've seen the power of prayer. It says that God inhabits the praises of his people. Learn to praise, learn to worship, learn to pray. That is your first response against everything. Listen, when I tell you everything, I'm taking good and bad. Prayer is your answer, y'all. If you haven't figured it out, get connected to prayer. Prayer will change your life. God should be your first response. God should be your first priority. God should be the number one in your life. If you put him in his proper place, everything else will fall into place. Without God in his proper place in your life, honey, you're going to keep trying to fit pieces that don't fit. God is the only one that can fill you. God is the only one because he created you. He knows what's missing. He knows what you need better than you know yourself. So I pray that you start to put God in his proper place today in your life, number one, and start to pray because that is your first response, baby. Don't call 911. Don't pick up the phone, go to the throne. Get God involved. He wants to be involved in every nook and cranny of your life, man. I'm telling you, he is a personal God, man. Start to have a relationship with him today. I pray this in the glorious name of Jesus. I am on Victory Road and Peace Place. Where you at? Holla.